Welcome to Grab Load. And Framework had an announcement yesterday, which I was impressed about. They called it the Framework second gen event. So I was leaning towards it would be the second gen of the Framework 16. That happens to not be the case, but they did come out with the second gen of the Framework 13 laptop with AMD CPUs in it, which is pretty cool. Some other stuff with Framework Desktop, Framework 12, and a few odd and ends things throughout here. So let's just start going through it. One thing I did take away that they announced in the beginning that I did like to see is that they do have increasing revenues. You're starting to get the image they said kind of shows a little hockey stick on the upward trend. Now, while I really do support Framework, I like what they're doing. I like the repairability. One thing I hope that they're going to take some of that profitability or that increasing revenue and put it towards is getting BIOS updates out. I think that's their biggest and weakest point. Their support on those BIOS updates, which it's been, they said that they'd have one out for the AMD model at the end of December, and here we are going into March, and this is unacceptable. They need to get better at that. That's my one complaint on all of this stuff that I on Framework, that or a major complaint. I suppose I can be nitpicky here and there, as Framework 13 should also have a touchscreen already, but the the whole BIOS update sequence needs to get much better. They need to have a regular cadence. I get it. There's been problems with every single laptop manufacturer I've dealt with has had, either sometimes it always seems the system I have gets dropped off sooner than the other systems that are next to it, but they need to get better and they need to keep up with it because there can be security updates and stuff like this that do get updated throughout time. So let's go through, let's jump over, and let's just take a look at this. This is what they have, and, I'm recording today because yesterday I was not able to get anything done. Now, it was always a wait time. But let's start with the framework. What do you want to start? Framework 13, I think that's what they started with, that's what we'll start with. So the Framework 13, I think, is a great option here. I really like this device. Fully repairable. You can take this device, do the new internals if you want, and this is a great option for people that, you know, just want to have a laptop. I think this would be great for colleges too. You have a laptop, it is upgradable, can be easily taken to class, can swap it out. They have, different colors. You can get, skins for this too that work out really well. And I've done a review of those skins on this channel as well. My wife's Framework 13. So we both have Framework 13. I have a 12th gen. She has the AMD 7040 series. And this is now going to have the AMD, as I see here, the AI 300 series processors with up to 12 cores of CPU. Pretty powerful there. I'm actually excited for this. Updated for 2025. They have nothing yet. The specs, they have nothing on there. It's great. So I get it. There's a lot of stuff, but you have the AI 300. Out of this, I'll put this right now. If you're looking at a older model, for the AMD side of things, 7040 is only $750 now. So they dropped that price. They're leaving that around. I think that's a very good introductory rate for people to get into the Framework 13 areas, to keep these older ones around just for that until your stock kind of dries up. You do get the Ryzen 9 though for the 7040, so you got three options. And you'll see a lot of batch 1 is sold out, all of these, and they still ship in April for batch 2. You can get the 6 core, 8 core, and 12 core now. Very powerful little CPUs in this. You'll be able to do probably some light gaming just fine. I actually like to get one to be able to test this out. We'll see if I actually pull the trigger. I have not yet. They have a new phase changing thermal interface on here, which is supposed to be an improvement. They also have a single pipe you'll see on these instead of the dual pipe, supposed to help improve cooling. That's the one complaint my brother has. He bought a Framework 7040, the Ryzen 7 one. So that's one complaint he has, is the fan can spin up and being a little loud. Maybe with the phase changing thermal interface, that helps a little bit there, and with a single heat pipe and that refinement. Now these boards, let's say you have a Framework 13, you want to upgrade, you can buy just the Ryzen boards and update directly in your current framework. You don't have to buy a new chassis. You don't have to buy a whole new thing. Very, very convenient. I think this is the way to go. You can take that old one, get a Cooler Master case to sell for about 40 bucks and throw that in there, have that a system someplace else to just do some work on if you want it elsewhere. You also get Wi-Fi 7 in this. You get all four of the displays, or all four of the USB-Cs now can be displays. So you can have displays on all four ports. A great little update there that Framework and AMD have ironed out. They have an updated keyboard. Now it will have all plastic. You could say, well, that's a negative. Well, the metal that they were using can resonate with speakers and create a little vibration. Yeah, I've seen that before, and I'm actually glad that they are updating it to make it a little bit better. And well, if you care, if you buy a DIY edition, you can select the non-Microsoft Copilot keyboard. If you buy the pre-built using Windows, it will come with the Microsoft Copilot keyboard if you want that. I personally like the DIY edition. I get to bring my own memory, my own drive, and own operating system, and can go from there. I really like that option. But it starts at $899, as you see here, which is a pretty powerful system. Especially for my wife, $899 is probably what I would go with. For me, I'm kind of up in the air. I really want the Ryzen 9 just because it's more powerful, but I don't use the laptop. Well, maybe I will use the laptop more and more for more coding work as we go forward. But release date for this is in April, and you can be excited about it. So let me just quick go back to the frameworks site here. We can see this going over. Come on, it's loading. It's loading ever so slightly. But they actually have some great new selections here. So you can select the AMD, and then you can see the main board price. So if you want to upgrade yours, right, and the upgraded main board, I think compatibility, this is the 3050, 3040, and 3070 are anywhere from $449 all the way up to $1,000. So something to keep in mind here as you take a look, and if you want to upgrade. So I don't even know if these are they ships April, so they ship in April too. So there we go. Let's jump over then. Let's talk about the Framework 16. I'll just go to the Frameworks homepage. The 16 is not getting any changes. Unfortunately, I like to have seen a change, but maybe they're working on something. They did, though, do a new mechanical key that they announced with it. That's pretty cool. Same ability or distance as the old keys. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for a new keyboard or something. Now those keys will be released in the store, and people can use them to develop their whatever they want. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's go to the desktop. Now this one I have mixed feelings on, to say the least. So it is Ryzen, AMD Ryzen AI Max. They got their new Max CPUs, which there hasn't been too much of. Now this device is not what you think. It's a desktop, which is what it looks like, but it's not a fully repairable, in my opinion, device. It is not socketed CPU. It's all soldered on. So is the memory. So if you're going to buy one of these, you're going to have to make sure you know exactly what you want up front. Unfortunately, that's just the downside of this processor. So it is got a pretty big graphics card on it with 40 CUs. It's basically a 4060 competitor. I think that this would be great for AI work. So if you're doing a lot of AI work, I think one of these with the LPDDR5 128 gigs might work out really well. And other than that, you can put these in. You still have the same front panel there. This is an ITX case though. I do like that. That is one nice thing. That's an FSP power supply, ITX, all compatible. So you can take this out and you should be able to put it into another ITX case, use it outside of it. I think that would be a nice little option. Now you can kind of see there some of the cooler. It does have a Noctua fan. You can do different storage options. You can this is the back panel here. Now I like to see They said there was a lot of ITX components. Now, is this the same as an IO shield? Can I use this case to do a build myself, which is one thing I really like to do. You got 5 gig Ethernet, some USB-Cs and stuff like that. There they go, personalizing this, the side panels and your different fan options here, and the carrying case. So it is interesting. If this case, if I had it, I like to, go through. This might be a great option though for businesses, right? Especially if they want to upgrade, and if they sell new all-in-ones that you can just slide in. This would be pretty big there. But it's it is what Framework did. So you're going to have a new little ITX case, and we'll see how well it sells overall. For me, I'm a desktop person. I like the repairability. But if I can go through and heck, if they sell this case separately, this may be a good option just to be like, hey, I want that case. They work with the cooling with Cooler Master and Nacho to get some good cooling options here. And I think if we go to the desktop, pre-order. Let's hit pre-order just so you get a price here. Let's see. It's $1,000 for those starting at $1,000 for the 32 gig, 1,600 or 1,100 for the 32 gig, 1,600 for the 64 gig, and 128 gigs is $2,000. And these are all already in Q3. I think Q3 is there, was already there, but they're selling out pretty quick here. And you see these two have 40 CUs, just a difference in memory, and this one has 32. I think this is going to be a nice little AI box. If you're businesses and stuff like this, I think this is a great option for them. For me, that like to build their own PCs, like full repairability, be able to swap out processor, swap out RAM, the RAM soldered in. So whatever RAM you got. And the Rock'em, I think, is going to be a big thing on here. We'll see how much stuff you can do. But they have two storage slots, and you have different options here. I think this is a good, interesting little option that they put in. But that touchscreen on the 13-inch, would I like to see that? We'll see where it goes going forward here. Also would have liked to seen this in the 16-inch. I think this would have been a cool, interesting little 16-inch processor for the 16-inch laptop, and would like to see that revised. Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. We'll see. But that's the desktop there. I clicked on. Let's go to 12. This one is maybe I'd have to say the second favorite of all these releases is the Framework 13. Right, getting that new AMD processor in there. That was really cool to see, and the next generation there. So we can see that they're committed to both Intel and AMD getting these products out. This is a little bit different. This is a different product. I can see this being useful. Actually, if it's a good price range, which we don't know the price yet, this is one thing where I would maybe get for my kids to work on. I know my kids have a desktop, and they use my wife's laptop a lot. But this would be one for maybe especially the younger ones, to be able to have and do stuff on as they learn different things. So this is a touchscreen on this. It's a 12-inch touchscreen. It's a 2-in-1, as you've seen here as it's been going around. April's will start the pre-order, and this will ship mid-year of what they said, and it's a 13th gen. So it's not going to be on the latest stuff. It is just a 13th gen, and this is what they got for it. So you're seeing everything that is out there on it, but the 13th gen will be interesting, and we'll see how it performs. And I don't expect anything too spectacular about this, right? It's an older processor. The 13th gen is going to be i3, i5, so nothing, super blazing fast. But I don't need it to be anything super fast. I need it to be in a good price range. So, we'll see what it is. They want it underneath $1,000, I guess. If they can get it, a cheaper one around, let's say we start putting it at, a 700, 600, 650, and I'm talking a full complete system at like 650, out the door, not also have to add on your USBs and everything else, I think that that'd be a great option for people. And I know, I bet you I have a friend right now, he has a Surface, and if he wanted to upgrade something for like his wife or whatever that uses the Surface every once in a while, if you bring that price down, I think that this would be an option for people that, want that little travel device, want something to just be able to use and have that portability, but they have a desktop or something at home and they just want something else along the side. This would be a good option, right? Especially in that $600 price range. 650, you don't want, you could get the higher one, right? That'd be more expensive, but that entry, i5 or i3, right? That one be your low end. I think that would be a great option. So let me know what your thoughts are on this whole framework announcement. Where are you sitting on laptops? What do you like about the framework stuff? What do you want to see improve? If you're staying with me, you want the touchscreen on the 13, you want BIOS updates to be more reliable and get there. I think they need to have somebody in there with, good timelines to start pushing out this stuff. And when they communicate with the community, and they need to do a much better job on this, is they have to get out weekly updates at this point. They need to have weekly updates of where their progresses are. If they do waterfalls, do a waterfall chart on their progresses as they're moving through. If you have an issue and you have to go back up on a waterfall, get that out there, because you have to build trust that you're able to release on these bio updates, which they seem to be missing in action. And that's just, if they want to, reach out, feel free to reach out. Emails, you can easily find my email. So I'd be more willing to talk to this, right? As a developer myself, I get how things can be hard, but I also understand that if you have at least a little bit of upfront communication on where you are at on stuff, you alleviate 90% of the issues right off the bat, which there seem to be missing in action on. And I've done enough, going through and doing development of different, a lot of different softwares that that I know, where you get in the release cycle, how you communicate to at least even other members of your team, right? Where this is all going to be, so that they can release out the information easily for other people. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help and support Gravelo. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and watch another one of our videos, as that really does help out the channel. And until next time, God bless.